All right, everybody out there in YouTube land. This is Sam Denehy, aka Half-Ass Customs, and I'm just making sure we are live. Said we were live, so I'm double checking that we are live. Well, it looks like it says we are live. So, wow, let's see. Yeah, all right, I'm looking at myself right now. Very good. All right, we are live. Looks like I'm the only one in here for now. We'll see if anybody decides to show up. If you guys do, cool. If you don't, that's totally okay. I did spring this on you a little too soon. I only gave you a week's notice, and some people don't get on Facebook for a full week or longer sometimes. So understandable. I basically wanted to talk about this upcoming week's RPM meet in St. Louis. It is July 29th and 30th. 29th and 30th. I think that's when it is. 29th and I think it's 29th and 30th. I'm gonna go double check on my laptop right here. Anyways, it's in St. Louis. Meet. It is in St. Louis, and it's 30th and 31st, which is a Friday and a Saturday. If anybody can make it up to that show, it is going to be, I think this year in particular, going to be a worthwhile show to go to. Our 187 scale group of people have a full entire row of tables basically to ourselves, so we can set up and show anything and everything we want with the vehicle side of the hobby, as well as dioramas and our modules. And then the rest of the show is full of trains and train cars and techniques and vendors for anything and everything, model railroading for the most part. All that stuff doesn't truly interest me. As you guys know, I'm a car guy, so it is what it is. But at the same time, it is cool to see all that stuff, all the model railroading stuff, because for one, that can lead straight into the model cars that we're building. The techniques with the weathering definitely adds to a model car. The rust, heck, everything. I mean, no kidding. If you even wanted to do this, you can go and get N scale decals, meaning graffiti decals, N scale graffiti decals, and you can put it on the side of a junky car to look like it got graffitied up, because the HO scale graffiti, that's made for walls, and that is the size of a car most of the time. So an N scale graffiti will be like an old junky car sitting in an abandoned road or a junkyard that got graffitied up. Hint, hint. There you guys go. N scale graffiti. Anyways, they'll have that there. So it's really neat to be able to see people that are able to bridge the gap between trains and vehicles. And I've got the YouTube stream live right now on my computer, so I'm looking at myself and talking to you guys at the same time. I'm talking to myself in my computer. And in the live chat, we got Daniel Coombs. It's all good, man. I appreciate it. I'll see you at the RPM meet. He says he can't wait to see me at the RPM meet, so that's cool. Thank you, Daniel. You're a cool guy. I'll see you there. Most definitely. I think you even said that you can only make it on Saturday, or maybe just make it on Friday. I don't know. Either way, I'll see you. I'll definitely see you, and we'll say hello and see what's up. But thanks for the comment, and yeah, I'll see you there, buddy. I'll see all you guys there. But yeah, anyways, to keep going, the RPM meet, it's mostly a train modelers meet, not just a train show, but a train modelers meet. If you guys never been to an RPM meet, it's It's wild. It's wild in the sense that these guys that are there are more modelers, it seems like, than they are model railroaders, in the sense that they, as much time and detail as I put in some of my custom cars, it looks like they've put hundreds of more hours in just one railroad car. I mean, the technique in the weathering, the technique in the denting of the cars to make them look more real, all the brass aftermarket photo etch parts. I mean, I did see 2019. I saw I saw I don't know, grain car maybe. I don't know what the grain car, the ones that got like the upside down triangles on the bottom to like allow the stuff to come out the bottom. And that thing had more photo etch stuff on the bottom of it that hardly anybody's going to see than any model I've ever seen. It looks like we got Joseph coming in. Awesome. Yeah, so I mean for that. Hey Joseph, what's up, man? Looks like you're connecting. There you are. How
Hey,
you
how's it
doing?
going? Pretty good.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad that you showed up. I don't know if you noticed, but I was talking to myself for like 10 minutes now.
Oh,
Talking to anybody that's watching this.
oh,
But yeah, I wasn't expecting anybody to show up. I did kind of give such a late notice. I pretty much did it the day after we did our episode. So, oh, cool. We got somebody else coming in. Gooseball Brown. Let's see who this guy is. I don't recognize that name, Gooseball Brown. That was his name though. We'll see who he is when he pops in. I'm gonna
okay.
try and get this live stream uh, put on the Facebook page. Copy. But anyways, I was pretty much just giving the viewers, if anybody's watching, a rundown on what the RPM meet's all about if they've never been. Like all the train detail parts, all the modelers. I was saying that it seems like most of the people there are mostly modelers than they are model railroaders, because of the amount of model railroad or models of railroad stuff that they got there. I'm saying that all wrong, but the detail they put on each train car or each train engine is more detail than most of us put on anything at these meets. That's pretty much what I was trying to say for anybody listening or watching. Um, but yeah, I don't I don't know if anybody's watching this. I'm trying to look on YouTube right now. I know I'm live streaming. I got Daniel Coombs
Hi,
that
Sam.
commented.
How are you doing, buddy?
Hey man, how you doing?
Oh, I just got old Tom Hart here in the state of Alabama, making him a true Southerner. This Yankee's going to be
Oh,
saying y'all before you know it.
What's up,
wow.
y'all?
What's up? Nice to have you guys in here.
Now
You as well,
we know
Sam.
who Gooseball
Right. Yeah, no, we know.
is.
Yeah, that name that you put down, I did not recognize that at
Hey,
all.
that's all Tom. It has nothing to do with me. That's all Tom.
Can't change the name.
Oh well, it is who it is then.
You guys excited?
Yeah, man, I'm excited that I'm able to go. It was only until I think 3 weeks ago, maybe four at the most, that I was able to confirm that I was going. Because before then, it was just a no the whole time.
Yeah, man. I'm kind of with you. I mean, if Tom here wasn't going, I probably wasn't going to be able to go myself. Driving
Right.
half
Yeah,
hours.
no, it definitely helps if you have somebody to go with, or even if you're sharing a room like me and Joseph are. It cuts down the cost of the room, and it cuts down, I think, cuts down on a lot of things. Like, especially if we were to order a pizza, we could order one pizza instead of one single for each of us and split it right down half or whatever. You know what I mean? It's
Right. I
be
mean,
more cost efficient.
I was lucky because, I mean, the room rate at the Super 8 is pretty decent. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think most of the hotel rooms right there next to the venue is cheaper, except for the one connected to the venue.
And decent is great compared to Springfield room rates. Those are through the roof.
I'll tell you what, I was 3 miles away from Springfield in this probably Super 8 equivalent, and it was pretty cheap for it being so far away. Because
Was it sketchy?
Springfield seems to be, unless you're right across the river, that's the only seems to be the hotels around there. Everything else is so far out, spread apart.
well, like the 2019 I stayed at the really big fancy one that's connected to the venue itself
In Springfield?
in Collinsville, and
Gotcha.
that one, oh my god, for 3 days I was almost at like $500.
Yeah,
Hey.
because I think that's a double tree. I think.
Yeah, yeah, the DoubleTree versus like we're there for like pushing like 7 days and it's like $380.
Right. Yeah, it's so much worth it to stay at the ones a little bit closer to it, but not right next door to it.
Oh yeah, and I think it's been 3 days. I was
Nice. Yeah, I think what have we got our rooms for? 2 nights, Joseph? Thursday night? No, 3 nights. Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the going time length. You don't want to stay there any longer. It is
Yeah.
St. Louis.
No.
I mean, we finally got the schedule down for everything we got to go do. Because
Are you guys planning on doing any of those clinics? There's supposed to be like a gang of clinics throughout the 2 days.
two of the clinics are being done by some friends of mine here in Alabama.
Oh wow.
Lee Singletary is doing a clinic on boxcar modeling, and then his son Josh is doing a clinic on L&N in-cab switchers. And both of those guys are amazing in what they do. And then I was talking with one of the RPM organizers, Jeff Hubler, and the theme, the supposed theme for next year's show that they're going to suggest is open loads. And if that's the case, he wants me to do one on military trains. So it looks like I'm going to go back into the RPM next year.
Right.
So, sneak peek. Look at this.
That's some fleet you got there. And you just put
I would say
some
this is-
desert sand underneath it. It looks like a real live train yard full of army equipment.
Well, it's not that. I mean, it's not even counting the entire curio cabinet full of military stuff. I've even gotten Tom. I drafted him into helping me. So
I'm trying to do the rigging on this, but it's a lot more complicated than any simple tow truck.
Right. Jeez.
I was about to ask if that was a catapult.
Right. That is what it looks like. I'm noticing on this live stream though that I've got this camera set up the normal way where anybody talks, it just goes straight to them. I think I can make it to where in particular people that are talking can we can all probably be on it, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how to do it on my phone. On the computer when we did the Amherst meet thing, I had everybody on the same thing and I can select certain people to be spotlighted. I don't know how to do it on this. Meeting settings? I don't know.
hey, did anyone hear if Robert's coming this year?
Robert.
Kelly.
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. They've come in 2018, 2019, him and his dad. So I would assume, but yeah, I haven't heard anything. In fact, he doesn't hardly post ever anymore.
Well, didn't he get married?
Yeah, had a kid too, I think.
Well, then there's the answer why.
Yeah.
That's cool. Good for him. Yeah, I
Because I
didn't know
know,
that.
I think Paul Knowles was waiting on word from work if he's able to go or not.
He's a cool guy to go. He's a
Paul's
nice
Paul's a,
guy.
Paul's a trip.
Yeah,
He,
his wife is cool too.
yeah, they are. He gets to play with real rat rods and nice cars.
Right. Yeah, they're a true car family, which is really neat.
You know, the weird thing about being in the car with Tom is he freaks out whenever he sees a Crown Victoria. And today, I think he's 9 times within a mile radius.
Well, so is yeah. You don't see them anymore up where I live. They're all the police all use the new Explorers, which is weird. They don't even consider sedans anymore.
We're cheap.
You need to move down south because the only time you see them now is if they got big chrome wheels on their rim.
Oh, I saw one today like that. I was very surprised. But it's good that they're repurposing them because that's what I'm doing with mine, except not chrome wheels. Mine are staying stock, except I put the nice rings on them, so you know I'm not a cop.
Right.
And the steer horns, but that's another thing for another
Well,
day.
you can still put all that stuff on there and put big chrome rims on there. You could have a donk police car.
Right?
I kind of hope Rapido brings those the Impala samples.
Speaking of Rapido and police cars, I reckon there's another Crown Victoria owner out there who likes model trains.
You would think, huh?
Yeah,
They're coming out with that lineup and that specific body style.
I'm hoping they bring out the Crown Vics.
I didn't
If
even
he's
know they were coming.
Listening.
I didn't know they didn't tell me they were coming. So if they come, that'd be awesome.
I don't know if they are personally, but I hope so.
Oh, that would be great.
Who are the guys that make the Rapido?
Oh, I think it's their U.S. worker because I don't think that the Canadians can come to the U.S. I think the border is still closed.
It just opened. I watch a YouTuber that lives in Canada, and they just opened the border to allow them to go back and forth.
Oh, to me, no, tall one.
Oh. Yeah, what are you doing?
I'm trying to cut something here. Hand me the one with the black cap right there. Thank you.
Well, I know because Spring Creek Model Trains is doing a show this weekend, and Akron canceled on them at the last minute. So I wonder if Akron is going to cancel coming to the RPM.
Oh, shit, that would suck.
I don't know. I mean, either way, it would be cool to see them still, but is what it is. Because I know Sylvan Kits came down 2019 from Canada, so I mean,
Yeah, he's coming because
he's making the Ford C sleepers. Those look nice. I need to grab one for myself.
What all are you bringing, Sam? Because I saw that post of like the dozens of cars you were working on.
Yeah, I'm not bringing most of those. I had a close friend of mine pass away 2 weeks ago.
Oh man!
And it kind of honestly kind of bugged me out. I've been in some kind of weird funk where I'm not really building nearly what I normally build. And it's not because I can't. I still have everything that I need to do everything with. It's just like my mojo's off.
Well, I know the feeling. Trust me. I totally get where you're coming from on that. I'm probably going to take a nice break from looking at anything woodland or tan for a while. After
That's going to be hard to do, man. I mean, that's most of your stuff.
I have gone through 5 cans of Tamiya paint in 2 weeks.
Holy cow!
I built an entire Trident resin kit in a day and a half just so I could paint it the day I picked Tom up.
Wow.
I mean, I've and then on top of that, I've got a pre-production model that I'm going to unveil at the show of a vehicle never done in HO scale before that was overnighted to my house just so I can unveil it at the RPM.
And you know what?
Nice.
I haven't keeping it that secret.
So
Well,
that
I mean, the cars that Joseph sent me, every single one of those cars have never been built in this scale. I mean, there's even an S10 that Mad About Cars did on Shapeway that I don't believe anybody's ever posted a photo of one done. So
I really want someone to do my Chevy Colorado, my Chevy Canyon. Back when I had Jurassic Park decals all over it, Major scale. If anyone does that, I will pay anything they ask.
How much?
More than you can afford.
okay, Joseph, you heard him.
Getting rich, folks.
More than
Right.
you can afford, I think he said.
Well, he says he's paying me, so I guess and well, I guess you gotta go to the top dollar of my bank account. And that's what I'm getting. So I'm doubling my money.
Right. Something like that. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I don't I guess what I'm bringing is pretty much everything. It's not going to be everything. I'm taking my wife's car, which is a little Toyota Corolla. The back seats fold down, which is good, so I can fit my module in there, my backlot movie module. But I don't think I'm going to bring all of my stuff because I don't think all of my stuff's going to fit in her little car. But I'm going to bring the best stuff. In other words, how about that?
When I go to a show, I really expect to see Sam Denny's a rat rod bringing all the stuff there.
Oh, all those rat rods are coming. All the lowriders are coming.
Rod Sam. I
Yeah,
expect to see the car there.
yeah, it'll be there. I just don't think like the miscellaneous stuff, like at the Amherst show, I brought every single thing I had, and I don't think I'm going to bring all that stuff at this show.
Gotcha.
Only because of the space. If I had my minivan, I would I would fold down the third seats and take out the middle seats, and I'd load that whole thing up with everything I had. But that's not happening this year.
Gotcha.
Maybe Amherst though. Maybe in January I'll do that. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, I hope. Joseph,
So you're already down in Alabama, huh?
Yep. Took Amtrak here. That way I didn't
Did you really? That's cool.
put too many miles on my car.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. I've never taken Amtrak anywhere.
It's neat. It's
Until you
it's
get
a new experience.
until you have to sit next to the weird people. Like
Yeah,
we did
until
with
you have
Tom.
to seat next and have to sleep the night in the cafe car because you don't want to sit next to them. But that's
Right.
another story.
Yeah. I mean, Amtrak here in Alabama, they've got 3 stops in Alabama, and it's all in North Alabama. So I drove an hour and a half to come pick him up yesterday, and then got back down here, and I've spent the past 2 days of work. And if it's not raining this weekend like it has every day for the past 3 weeks, then he'll get to see the town without it being coated in rain and thunder and lightning.
It's the hope. It's very sporadic down here, but it's fun.
That's the South for you. That weather changes like a dime and goes crazy. It is what, hurricane season that we're in?
We were talking about the movie last night, The Truman Show, and how there's one scene in there where it's just raining on the one guy. Because not to
Yeah.
give away the whole movie, but it's kind of obvious.
Right.
And we were doing that. We were driving, and then there's this big rain cloud that we could see, and it only hovered above one area, and it didn't move. But it was weird because the area that it hovered over was only like 400 feet by 400 feet, and we went into it and we went out of it, and that was that. It was like, this is just weird.
Yeah. I mean, I see a lot of that stuff out here coming from California where it never rains. When you do see these crazy, weird rainstorms that come through just so quick, you're like, what happened? Why? This doesn't make any sense. If you're going to come, stay. Don't just come and go.
Now see, the one that got me was on I-65 between Montgomery and Birmingham. There's this giant Confederate flag, which, I mean, if you're that's like if that's not the definition of the South, I don't know what is.
That is
And
the
then-
definition.
Wait a second. How am I going to explain this to someone who lives up north? That this giant ass Confederate flag is just sitting here waving.
Right. Saying
And then
hello.
Tom admits to me a couple of days ago, he's like, hey, you guys got Waffle House down there, right? And I was like, yeah, on practically every street corner. Well, I've never
Right.
been. I've never been to a Waffle House. And he's never been to Chick-fil-A. So it's my God-given duty as a Southerner
Yes, it
to
is.
take.
Dang.
I'm
Just
hoping-
like if you're on the West Coast, you have to go to an In-N-Out. You just have to. It's not
Oh,
even a choice.
I experienced my first In-N-Out burger in Dallas, Texas. And oh my God, that was so good. Well, man, why can't we have that here?
That's what I'm saying. I grew up loving Jack in the Box, and we do have Jack in the Box in the state, but it's the western side of the state, and I don't live on that side. And it drives me crazy.
We've just got Jack's,
Minus
which
the
is
box.
basically just Jack in the Box. And
Is it,
we
though?
don't have, we have Crystals.
Crystals. Huh.
Yeah, it's White Castle for the South.
Oh, we don't have that out
Don't-
here. I'm kind of glad we don't, because White Castle's not good either.
No, it isn't. I'm not doing that again. And I know we're going to be staying within throwing distance of one, and I'm in there
Yeah,
again.
you are.
No.
It's
no.
funny that the 2018 was the first time I had a White Castle, because I told Dave from Dave's Decals, hey man, I've never been to a White Castle. We got to go. And he was like, are you sure? I don't really want to go. And he was like, I said, I've never been. And he was like, all right. And yeah, I didn't like it. I regretted it.
Dude, the first time I had ever eaten it was with some of the L&N guys back in 2019. And you know, you got the White Castle, and then you got the DoubleTree across that field
Right.
eating, and then Josh's dad disappears into the only stall bathroom in there, and then it hit me like a brick wall that I had to go. So then I had
Right.
to
Yeah.
walk
Right.
the feet back to the hotel, and I
Yep.
said that never again. Like I left my wallet there. I like, thank God everyone else was there, but I no, not again. Now I'll eat at the Bob Evans across the street. That's pretty decent.
Bob Evans is pretty decent. It's weird
I mean,
why it is so decent, but
Yeah. And then you got
did you take him to Waffle House yet?
no, not yet. We're doing that tomorrow.
Oh,
I'll
what
tell
is it?
you-
The All-Star? The All-Star is the only thing I've ever eaten at a Waffle House, and I've been in North
Oh.
Carolina for 13 years now.
Dude, that's the thing to get, man. All-Star special and a drink
Right.
for like $11, and you're not gonna. That's the way to do it.
What, a Waffle House?
Yes,
'Cause your mom was saying the All American's the best one.
that's the All-Star.
Same thing?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
that's the same thing. Yeah, man. Well, yeah, Waffle House is the way to go, and then I got to take him to Chick-fil-A. We'll probably do that on Monday. But
Yeah.
tomorrow he's gonna get his first taste of Cajun food.
Woo! At
Oh,
Waffle House.
geez. Good luck with that
What?
Cajun.
What's the bathroom wait time on that one?
Dude, I tell you, man, it's gonna be. It's a good place.
Good.
I mean, because I keep saying, okay, well, we got all these great barbecue places here in Montgomery, but we'll be getting plenty of that in St. Louis. So I'm trying to avoid barbecue right now.
That seems to be the whole eastern part of this country is barbecue. I don't know why.
I'm-
Like the West Coast is all about cow. Let's eat cow. Hamburgers. Hamburgers everywhere. Hamburger restaurants the eye can see. Out here is all about chicken and barbecue. And I didn't grow up eating that every day, all day. So I still don't.
Dude, but I mean, see, I got to get some brisket because we do not do good brisket here in Alabama, but yet St. Louis and Texas do damn good briskets. That's my only fill of it for like the year.
Hey, have you talked to anybody about that 187 scale dinner? I know you had
Yes.
mentioned it, commented it on something somewhere.
So Tom mentioned to me that Mark is coming. Mark Quate, probably butchering his last name.
I don't even know who you're talking about anymore. Marty Ulick?
Yeah, Marty, you look.
Yeah, Ulick's coming.
Oh, yeah.
He's coming, and then he's like, yeah, can we all do dinner one night? And I was like, well, I think it's pretty traditional that everyone goes and does dinners one night.
Well,
And-
usually we figure it out at the show. I don't know.
That's
mean,
the
I-
Amherst show. That's not this show.
True.
Well, because I'm thinking,
The 2 years I went, we never had a dinner.
Oh, really? All right.
Well, at least if we did, I didn't hear about it. But see, that's the thing. This show's so much smaller than the Amherst show. The very first year, 2018, it was me, the Kellys, father and son, Bob Goins or Dan Goins and Bob Johnson, and just maybe a few others for the whole 187 scale side of this hobby. So I don't think they even scheduled to do anything because they weren't even sure how many people were going to go.
well, like in 2019, because I rode up there with some friends with the Illinois Historical Society in 2019, so I was kind of at their mercy on where we were going. And Dan and Bob had invited me and Paul Knowles and his wife on, I think it was it was Friday night they invited us. No, it was Saturday after the show closed. But I had to ride to Jeff Kubler's house for the operating session. So I skipped out on it. So I'm thinking if we do it, it's probably going to be either it's Friday or Saturday. But
well, hopefully maybe Friday because Saturday Ken Patterson has his show and he already told me that I could go, and I'm taking Joseph as my +1.
Well, I mean we got to go. We're on the books for Ken's at 2 p.m. Wednesday.
Nice.
But I'm thinking, I mean, I'm all for doing Friday night, and at Thursday we're meeting the Ellen Historical guys over at what's that small little hole in the wall barbecue joint?
Wish I knew. You ain't told me yet.
God, I can't remember the name to save my life. It's right next door to the Super 8. But if you guys want to join us, you're welcome.
When is that?
Thursday.
Thursday night? Okay.
Yeah.
What time? Because I don't know what time I'm making it there. It takes 12 or 13 hours to get there from here.
Jesus, for us, it's going to be 8.5.
Don't brag.
I'm bragging. I'm not looking forward to driving that stuff. I'll be at work. Monday night, I got to work. And I won't get home until 11 o'clock. And then I got to turn around and leave by like 4 a.m.
And yet, he wants to take the first part of the road trip. He wants to drive the first part after he got off.
No, you drive.
Yeah,
you
that's
drive,
what I was
Tom.
telling him. Just listen to me.
Yeah.
10-1 says I'm going to make it to the Saturn V rocket exit.
10-1 says he's driving first because he knows the roads in Birmingham and he doesn't want to get lost. He wants me to get lost.
But that's what GPS is for. You got Google Maps on your phone; it'll take you there.
Yeah, I'll be too busy looking at the exit signs to notice, and I'll choose the wrong exit somehow. You never know.
I tell you, I'm looking forward to because Thursday is the day we're doing the Transportation Museum. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, if you've never been, that's a really neat place.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a walkthrough on some of the vehicles they got in there.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to have to buy a new SD card.
They got a one-off concept car. It's world famous, and it's the only one. And they have one. They have it there. I don't even remember what it's called, but
I'm trying to get in contact with my buddy here in Montgomery. He's got some concept cars that are one-offs that no one in the public is. They've only seen them once, and it was at the World's Fair.
geez, that's what this red one over at the Transportation Museum is too.
Yeah,
that's cool.
But I'm trying to see if we can go over there tomorrow, but I think he's out of town, which sucks, but and then the fire truck museum up in Birmingham is only open on Sundays. So, hey, it's weird stuff, but we got plenty of stuff to do around here. So,
well, the fact that you're making it more a road trip and a sightseeing trip than just the RPM meet, because I'm going just for the meet, and Sunday morning I'm headed back.
Yeah, so, Sunday morning we're heading back here too, but because I got work on my work Monday. Yeah, Monday morning I got work, so
wow.
And catch an Amtrak Monday afternoon if they're on time.
Yeah, big if.
So that's going to be fun. They were only 3 hours late yesterday, so
Yeah.
Just like that.
Jeez.
Well, that was
That's
the
on time.
northbound. Really, 5 minutes early. The northbound was 3 hours late.
Wow.
So,
That's wild.
Look,
but
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, so how much stuff did you bring, Tom, or did you even bring anything?
I brought I'm not really sure how to measure it, so I'm just going to say an ammo's crate worth of stuff. So if you can imagine it fitting in there, it fits in there.
Oh, okay.
So I'd say about, give me a rough estimate, around 10
Do you have-
models. A little,
Do you have
give or take.
layers?
yeah,
or
3
is it-
layers in there.
Nice. That's cool, man. That's awesome. Here's what's funny.
Yep.
I don't know if you've
Yep.
ever seen pictures, but my buddy lives right there. And he normally only brings maybe 10 cars at the most. And he lives right there. So
You can't blame them. You know, it's a nerve-wracking experience bringing your models out of your house. You kind of get worried. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean if I had to mail my stuff, but taking my stuff out of the display case and putting it in a box, no, I don't know what you mean. I mean, it's so funny because this week, actually, I've got to mail a 125th scale model car that's detailed to the nines. And I've got to put it in a box and ship it to California and hope it doesn't break into a million pieces because there's a million pieces to this car.
My best bet would be insurance. Get insurance on it because
Well, I'm not worried about the insurance side of it. I mean, they can't, there's no way it's I don't think it's gonna make it there in one piece anyways, but the person I'm mailing it to is another model car guy. So he'll be able to rebuild it. That's not the problem. I just don't want it to break to begin with.
well, the thing is, if you get insurance on it and it breaks in the first place, he just gets his money back on the model, what's inside, or what's shipping.
Yeah, I could do that, I guess.
I've still got to figure out how I'm going to pack 52 loose combat vehicles without breaking anything.
I found the best bet is to put it all in a box loosely and then slam on the gas, slam on the brakes, slam on the gas, slam on the brakes.
Dude, you're thinking too smart. You're thinking me doing that plus hitting every speed bump and pothole within a 50-mile radius.
Well, that was the second option.
All right, folks. Well, if you look here, I'm done. I'm done doing the wiring for this. So
Thank you, Tom.
no problem. It's a crane for the Army, sort of. So they use it to.
Hercules.
All right, you heard them. M88 Hercules. Took forever. This looks a little bit out of shape here, but once there's a load on it, the wires will be straight with weight. I'll put it down and get the camera a little bit closer to it. Still got to be painted because all the hinges, not hinges per se, hooks and ropes haven't been painted yet. But Radisson built the model, everything except for the wiring or rigging, I should call it. It's very nice. This isn't going on the train since it's per se combat ready. I'm not sure if he's going to put a gun in the mount once he's done or not. You going to put a gun in the mount of this?
Yes, and may I say you did such a good job. You have earned yourself Waffle House tomorrow.
Thank you.
Would that technically even actually fit on a train car, or is it too wide?
They do fit on train cars. I don't have one available to put it on. Actually, I do, but this particular one isn't going to go on one. You want to put this on the train car for Sam?
Oh, the French fries hot. Oh, so they weigh.
I mean, it looks wider than a normal tank. That's why I asked.
It actually, well, what's funny is, and I'll show you this in person. It's kind of hard, difficult to see here. On these M1A1s, on these modern 68 flats, there is overhang on each side. It's about a foot, I think a foot or half a foot of overhang per side on each tank. As long as the road wheels are good and they're sticking on the car, they don't care about the overhang on the track itself.
Wow. That's got to be nerve wracking just to load one of those tanks on a flat car.
Well, there's a few photos in Army WTF moments when they start doing NTC drills out west of people who drive the tank and it's too far to like the right or left and it slides off the car sideways.
Oh yeah, I've seen it where they tip over.
Yeah, it's easy to do, but it's a tank. It can handle it.
Right, but that's what I mean by nerve wracking, because like you said, it's got to be just maybe even a foot more to the right or to the left, and it's completely off. It'll just slide off because it's not perfectly center.
I mean, honestly, I'd rather drive a truck or smaller tracked vehicle, but not an Abrams. You couldn't pay me to get in that enclosed space.
I wouldn't mind driving it on the road or the dirt or something like that, but yeah, not on a train car.
No, I'm claustrophobic. I don't do tight enclosed spaces.
That's cool though. That was a good job, Tom. Good job, buddy.
Oh yeah, I mean, I got because someone I forgot who it was who asked me the other day. They said, "So, how much military stuff are you bringing?" And I said, "Well, if I went to go invade St. Louis, I wouldn't be afraid."
Right.
So, I think at this time, I think I have an entire company of vehicles. Somewhere in the neighborhood of like 13 or 15 tanks coming with me, and that's just the tanks. Artillery, medical, combat support, military police, logistical. You name it, I'm bringing it.
Nice. That's cool.
Air superiority stuff, I haven't started on anything like that yet.
What about the Phantom? That's not with the same era, but
Just FYI, if you guys didn't know that your camera is not working.
you want it on? Or?
That doesn't matter. I'm eating a hamburger, so
I
unless
thought-
you want to see me
Oh,
eating
is that why you did that? Oh, you guys
Thought that
can see
wasn't
the way
a
you are.
priority.
I don't really care. I just didn't know if you knew. No, it's all good. Yeah, I think like in the last episode with me and Joseph, we were saying, well, I was saying, I think this particular meet is going to be one of the biggest because of this pandemic and how everything is opening and everybody thinks that this virus is gone. And I think everybody's going to come that can come because everything was shut down last year. And this is kind of the biggest thing coming up that this country in this hobby is seeing so far. So I think a lot of people are going to come.
From what I understood from some of the RPM guys, there will be no operational club layouts at this show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no one signed on to bring a layout this year, which is really odd.
That is odd.
There are a lot of extra tables and space there, which is good news for people like us. But I'm seeing I'm kind of seeing mixed reactions when it comes to people wanting to come to this. But at the same time, this is like probably going to be the only trade show style model train show we're going to get this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah, so why wouldn't you come?
Exactly. I mean, this is the first one of the year, the biggest one of the year. And I'd say so many people are vaccinated that, that nobody's going to really be worrying about catching COVID.
Well, did they cancel Amherst again for next year?
They better not have. That's still like a half a year away.
They canceled my car club in October.
Oh, of course. Paper plate.
Yes, please.
I mean, there's all kinds of crap opening up in North Carolina left and right. Stuff that are last minute events popping up. Like, I swear to God, this state feels like the virus is completely eradicated and nobody's going to die from it anymore.
Well, you know what's ridiculous? Is even during the pandemic, during 2020, my train club, we hosted 3 different train shows, and not a single COVID case came out of the train shows.
Well, as long as you are, you know, right, as long as you are wearing the face mask, you're spread apart as best as possible, and you're taking precautions, you should be safe no matter if you had a big crowd. If you just keep your distance and keep your, protective wear on, you could probably do a huge show as long as people follow the rules of staying apart. But so many people are stupid.
What was funny was because during that show, I was inside the module layout at all times. And I'm sitting there going, wait a second. I'm over 7 feet away from anyone. I'm taking my mask off. I ain't wearing this for 8 hours a day. And that's what I did. And people were getting mad. Listen, you're the one going to get up in my face here. Get the hell away from me, and we wouldn't have this issue.
Right.
But
because they didn't want to follow the rules. I mean, it's not even like, say, an actual rule, but it's it's common sense rule. If there's a pandemic, the news had told you to do this. It seems to be a safe bet that that's probably what you should do.
Hey, advice. I work in the news. Half the stuff we put on the news is BS anyway. So
I meant with everybody knows the news is BS, but I mean with staying protective, staying the distance. I mean, that should be self-explanatory.
The thing I love is like, wash your hands. You weren't washing your hands before this?
Right.
Right. Even before the pandemic, every time I filled up my gas tank, I put hand sanitizer on my hands after I did my gas tank. I mean, common sense stuff. Oh, by the way,
I was in a public restroom and it said employees must wash hands. So I was waiting for an employee to come in to wash my hands, and they never did.
I mean, that's the crazy thing, dude. Is a lot of this is just common sense stuff.
Right. It's not always so common, obviously.
Nope.
I can see that.
But we'll see how this RPM meet goes. I'm more than sure there's going to be a lot of people not wearing masks, but they've got the vaccine, hopefully, so they're not going to be, really harming anybody if they did have it or spread it or whatever. And I'm assuming all the people that didn't get vaxxed will be, smart and wear masks. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Well, I mean, it's definitely going to be a good show. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone again. I know Tom is. I know you are. And I'll tell you, man, this is going to be one of those moments in history. We look back at it, we're going to go, oh, yeah, hey, remember that year we didn't have an RPM? Totally worth it.
Right. Apparently, I was watching Ken's show, and he had a representative from the RPM meet, or maybe it was the Great Train Show meet or whatever. And they said this was the very first year they've ever not had one. Like since they started.
Yeah, it is actually.
Right. So, I mean, that's another reason more people need to come out for this show.
Well, it's support your local hobby shop, because too many of those are closing down. Too many of them didn't survive 2020. And it's also a chance for us to tell the manufacturers what we need or want. Or if you're like me, I'm going to give Intermountain a piece of my mind, because I've now been waiting 7 years for my damn GP16s to come out. I am pissed. And now they're wanting to raise the price on them. So I think I have the right to tell them off. So I am. That's going to get
tell them off at this show as loud as you possibly can.
So you want to charge an extra $50 for my sound and DCC engine that I already paid for?
Let me know before you do it so I can videotape it. It'll be a good blooper reel for the podcast.
Crazy Alabama redneck yells at Westerners.
Something along those lines.
Thanks, buddy.
No, that, like you said, like a repeater, that'd be cool if they were to show up and if they had those cars on display so you can talk to the people in person and see them actually in hand. That would be neat. I did talk to that guy. what was his name? Joshua? No, Josh?
Jordan.
No,
Jacob.
Jordan. Starts
Jordan.
with a J, and I never
Who's
remember
Jordan?
his name.
It was
Jordan.
Jordan.
Yeah, I had that episode with Jordan, and I told him, dude, when those products come out, I want to either you send me some or I'll just go buy them myself because I want them anyways. And then we'll do a whole new episode because I'll have them in hand and we can talk all about them. I'll even tear them all apart and see just how easy it is for customizers to change stuff and do whatever. And I'll show it on the screen so everybody can see. So, I mean, either way, if we don't get it at the RPM meet, which I don't know that we will or don't even think we will, but it'd be cool if we did. I'll have them on that episode whenever they do come out.
The thing I'm looking forward to, and they're not going to be at the RPM because I don't think they were invited, but Microtrains is doing an HO scale armored Humvee in plastic. And it's going to be the first armored Humvee ever produced in plastic. And I tell you,
Cool.
I cannot wait to get my hands on that. I've got like 8 of them on pre-order.
And I'm not sure if you guys know, but Microtrains is huge into N scale. They're one of the biggest retailers in N scale. And this is their first HO scale product, which may mean we more in their HO scale market in vehicle wise.
God, Radisson, you would be the one to do like a whole review on it. Like you're the military guy in this scale for this type of, genre of vehicles. You should be the guy to review it before everybody else gets to.
Oh, believe me, I plan on it. I mean, Kim was asking me a week after last. He said, "So, what do you want to do at the house, man?" And I said, "Well, you've got all those military vehicles that you never built, so I'm going to do a how-to video on how to paint them, so people aren't afraid to paint them and they can stop sending me their stuff."
Nice. Well, I remember talking to you either on your episode. I think it was on your episode where I was like, "Why don't they just make decals? Screw painting it. Decals make life simpler."
I'm glad you said that. So going back to that subject, I actually I found unit decals because every military unit has their vehicle decal on the front and rear bumpers of where it belongs to, what company, what division, etc. No one has ever made those decals, but Arsenal and out of Germany just released those decals for the U.S. Army, and I've got them actually.
Oh, that's cool.
And I'd suggested maybe doing the NATO pattern. And they're supposedly going to do some sample sets for me to test.
Nice. See,
We'll see
and you would be the guy to do that testing with. That's cool.
We'll see how it happens. I mean, either way,
that's what I like to hear too. I love to hear when a company, small or big, can reach out to the modeler and let them review and test and check out their product, because we're the ones that would use it. We're the ones that would take it apart, diagnose it, figure it all out the best way possible to do it all. And so many times you don't hear of those stories, or you don't even think they exist, that a corporation, a company would even reach out to a modeler to do that stuff. So it's neat that you have that little contact to allow you to do that.
Well, or these companies will contact someone and send it to them, but they're a master modeler with the NMRA who can.
Ken Patterson does all those reviews of all the train models, but we need the car models to be reviewed, or the car product, the vehicle side.
Well, I mean, not even that, but I mean, we need to do the thing with like you saying, for example, is you're not taking any sponsorships or corporate anything to say, "Oh my God, this is the greatest company ever." When all reality,
not yet. I don't know if I ever will, but
we need guys like us that are going to keep it honest. Because I mean, I'll be the first to come forward and say, "Okay, this kit sucks. Don't buy it. Don't waste your money."
Right. Yeah. Well, I think I even said possibly I might have not have trying to be nice, but that Rapido car that they're coming out with, the rear lights are painted on the plastic body, and the front lights are plastic lenses, so you can stick LEDs in. So in order to get LEDs for the backlights, you have to drill a hole and then possibly put red tape over the holes with the LED behind it. And I thought that was such a miss on their part, because they should have been able to do the rear lenses like a clear red plastic, so you could easily put LEDs for backup lights and rear lights.
Well, maybe they're going to fix that because those were just the pre-production models.
Right. Hopefully. And if they are going to fix that, I do not remember them saying it, but that was what, 2 months ago I did that interview. 3 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, I did the interview. And I think 2 months ago, I uploaded the interview. So I don't even remember.
Well, I mean, there's a few, because I showed Tom a few of my horror story models that I told him, I was like, dude, I keep these as just constant reminders not to be tricked into buying them again.
Right.
And I mean,
That's a good idea.
yeah, I mean, and he said, oh my God, this looks horrible. I was like, yeah, and I did everything I could to save that thing.
Right. Well, Bob just joined. What's up,
Sam?
Bob?
How you doing?
I'm great, man. How you doing?
All right. Had some trouble trying to get it.
Appreciate you
Yeah.
joining. Oh, it's all good. I'm glad that you joined, period. I was, for the first 7 minutes, I was talking to all of you by myself, and then
Oh,
Joseph
really?
joined.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. I got
I'm
in
just glad that
before.
you joined, period, man. Thanks.
I got in before, no problem, but I don't know. Something happened this time. I wouldn't let me in for a little bit.
I just tried to do a second interview with Mike Buddy, and for some dumb reason, his phone will not let him in, no matter what. It keeps telling him he's got some kind of network, not a network, but it's like his phone's not new enough to allow it to work or something. And I don't know. I can't even try to fix it from, my side because I can't see his phone directly. I don't know. But are you going? I don't know that you normally go to the RPM meet, but are you planning on going to RPM meet?
No, I'm not going. I wanted to go, but I can't make it this year.
You could have carpooled with you could have train pooled with Tom.
Yeah, I know. I wish I knew he was going before.
Guys, Tom just called me in his room and he said, there's this weird noise. It's electrical. I don't know what it is. And he's like, it makes this weird ring noise. And I was like, bro, it's a cicada.
I thought they had cicadas up there. I thought the news,
I never heard of it.
because they're so trustworthy, said
Massachusetts.
cicadas were up in the Northeast now.
They don't sound the same in the Northeast.
Damn Yankees.
Mm-hmm,
Oh, wow.
No,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
I
at least
haven't
we won the war.
I haven't seen any of those cicadas around here at all.
Huh.
He's up
Crazy,
in
because
he's Western Mass, but I'm down on the South Shore.
that's crazy
hear me,
because
Bob?
the news said it was the worst year ever for cicadas and that they were running rapid through the Northeast right now.
Huh.
So I guess
Did you hear him up
they
there,
don't know
Bob?
what they're talking about.
What's that?
Do you hear him up there?
What's that?
The cicadas. Do you hear him up north, up in Massachusetts?
No.
Yeah. See, I'm telling you, Sam. It's a sound that I've never heard before.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, the first year we moved to North Carolina and I heard it, I thought there was an electrical short in the street lights
See,
because it was crazy. But now
I'm
I
not the
know,
only-
though.
I'm not
Now
the
I
only
know.
stupid person here.
I've seen pictures of them in like New Jersey and New York and stuff like that, but I haven't seen any up around here.
So they are in the Northeast. They're just not that far north.
Yeah, I guess.
Crazy. Well, the real crazy thing is, at least here, I would suspect everywhere that they are, that some of them will die and they'll die from like the inside out. So their whole skeletal shell is intact. And it's just literally like a shell of a body of a cicada.
Oh yeah, that's what they do down here, man, and it's freaky because they'll like attached to trees, your vehicle.
Right, yeah.
And at first you don't really realize what it is, and then you don't want to touch it.
Right. No, you don't.
They're
'cause-
not small.
No, they're a big bug that's gross.
That just made my night. You have no. I'm going to go back to the TV station here in about 20 minutes, and I'm going to just be making fun of you.
You're gonna put my face on air and you're gonna say this Northerner does not know anything about South.
Yes, yes.
I guess people eat them.
What?
They're like a
Yeah,
delicacy. Yeah,
Radisson is first-hand experience. You should tell me after lunch today.
I'm not going to. I'm not that brave.
they boil them. They boil them or something. I guess. I saw a thing on that somebody had done on Facebook about them and saying that they eat them.
That's gross.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I fixed the live stream video. Now all 5 of us are on one screen, even though 2 of us got the cameras on. But at least we're all on the same screen, though. Or 5 of us, 4 of us. No, yeah, Tom and Red considered them one. So yeah, all 5 of us. But yeah, that's cool. I'm glad you showed up, Bob. That's awesome, man. Appreciate that.
All right.
Bob, you gonna come down to the show?
No, I can't make it this year. I would have liked to, but
Well,
I understand.
hopefully,
It's
if
a
the
long
Amber
trip.
show still goes on, we'll see you there. No,
yeah, I'll definitely be there.
Later actions.
Hopefully,
That'll
it'll
be
cool.
still go. Hopefully, without this, stuff going on again.
right.
With all this new COVID thing.
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't watch the news because of what Radisson said earlier about news being fake and whatnot, and it truly is on a lot of cases. But I don't know if it's along this particular case. But I was watching it the other night for the first time in a long time. They were talking about the state of North Carolina are reporting at least 1,000 cases of COVID hitting people every single day. Now, these people got vaccines, so it's not affecting them in the sense of hospital visits or whatnot, but it's still going on, meaning this whole virus is still spreading with no problem.
Yeah.
So I don't see it going away anytime soon. It's just how our bodies work against it with the vaccine or not. We'll see what happens.
Yep.
But just so everybody knows, and maybe you'll hate me for this, but I didn't get the vaccine. I'm just going to wear my mask the whole damn show.
Hey.
But this is my theory, okay? And shoot me if you want to, hate me if you want to. They say it's very possible that everybody that got the vaccine may have to take the vaccine every year. It's like the flu. So you'll have to take a vaccine every year. Whether that happens or not, we'll see. But that's what they're saying. And if that is the case, I have never caught the flu and I've never got a flu shot. If it's
I've
like
never got
the
a
flu,
Yeah, he's
Too little dog.
yeah. So if it's like the flu, I don't think I'll get this COVID, but I'm not ruling it out. I'm not saying I won't. I just don't know that I will if I can't even catch the flu. And the flu is the easiest thing to catch.
I had to do it because of work. So
Yeah.
Yeah. My work says that if you have the vaccine, you can walk around the whole building maskless like it never happened. But if you didn't get the vaccine, you just have to wear a mask all day. I'd just rather wear a mask. But we'll see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah.
But how you doing, Joseph? You've been very quiet this whole entire episode.
I'm just listening.
That's
Actually,
cool.
looking on the computer. I'm doing
Yeah.
pretty good.
That's good. I know you heard me earlier about all those cars that you sent me. They're all still here.
Oh yeah.
I've got.
You got them all done already?
No, not even close. In fact, look, I'll show you. This is all the cars in a lineup that I still have to do, and I don't see myself getting to all these in less than a week.
Now, are all those Joseph's cars?
Well, so the cool thing that we got going on is like he'll send me 2 cars, one for him, one for me. So I'll build one for him, and I get to keep one to build for me.
Yeah.
That's our deal. I don't know if he's going to keep that deal with anybody else, but because of that, so there's pretty much there's more than one car of the same car here. It's just that's the deal. So if he sent me 4, he gets 2, I get 2. Um, but yeah, so half of them are definitely his. The other half are mine. And because of my stupid situation going on in my head about my friend, I just been really slow, super slow at trying to get these done. Because trust me, they would be done already. From the time I posted that, I think it's been like 2 weeks. These all would have been done by now.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, I'm planning on for the RPM meet bringing all my rat rods, all my low riders, some customs here and there, all my movie cars because they'll probably sit on the movie car backlot, uh, and some of my dioramas. But I don't know that I'll have enough room to put much more in there. That's what I'm planning on bringing.
Now is that basically set up like the Amherst show?
It is for the display side, not the module side. Although the module side, like basically we got 2 rows of tables, and when I say that, you got like table, 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 and then right behind it is table, table, table. So you
Yep.
got like a full walk around of 2 sets of tables. I think like four table wide long or something, 4 or 5 tables long, and 2 on each side, or yeah, double tables. So
Huh.
you can have your module, which me and Joseph is doing, and if the Kellys come up, they'll have their crane modules. Um, and I don't know if anybody else is bringing modules, but we'll have our modules and we'll have it all lined up so where it looks like the Amherst show. But the first year, the Kellys had their module there in 2018, and they were the only ones that had the module. And then 2019, I brought my module, and it was the only 3 modules there because they each brought a module, and then I had my movie lot module. So now that Joseph's bringing some of his or all of his, one or the other, I think we'll have a pretty nice gathering of modules. But the rest of the tables are just flat tables, and you can just put your cars and dioramas anywhere on the table that you want to.
Like display like they do at the
Right. Yeah.
like they do at Amherst?
Right. Exactly the same way. There's and the only difference is like Amherst, Bob or Dan, whoever, they set up a location for each person to
Yep.
be sat at. Here,
Mhm.
it's a free for all. We just pick wherever we want to put our stuff, but as long as it's within that 2 table length section of where our club is, because our club has like 1 row, and
Yep.
then the rest of the train show is all around us.
How big of a
So
place is that?
I'd say it's you say the small building at Amherst because there's
Yep.
4 buildings. Whatever the small building is, it's probably that big. So you fill
That's a-
half of it with tables for display, and the other half is all vendors.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then they have another like auditorium room or like a meeting room where they do clinics, but
Oh,
that's in a separate room in the same building, just not attached to the exact room we're in.
yep. Huh.
In fact, I could probably just show you. There's photos. I'm on the RPM Meet website, and there's photos of basically what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can turn my camera around. So pretty much photos like or tables like that set up and something like
Yeah.
that. So it's a lot like
Oh, okay.
the Amherst, just and in a much smaller scale because we're not
Okay.
nearly as big. But yeah, it's not bad. I noticed they didn't take no pictures of my cars. Whatever. BS. But yeah.
You were on
So
TV, weren't you?
Yeah,
And you got
but it would have been
interviewed by,
great for photos too. I need my stuff to be spread everywhere. Yeah, no, and I've said it on a couple of the podcast episodes, maybe just Joseph. But I've said it on Facebook that I'll be doing like on the spot interviews at the show too. So it'll probably be like super quick interviews. Just say,
cool.
hey, whatever. I'm so and so. These are my cars or whatever. Or this is the stuff I'm selling. And then that's kind of it. Because I don't need to be sitting with somebody at a show with all the noise going on. And I don't have any mics. So I'm hoping, your phone or your computer has the mic. So on your end, it sounds good because I don't know how my phone does with multiple people talking over it at the same time. But yeah, I'll be doing some like on the spot live interviews.
Cool.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I was hoping to go, but it just didn't work out.
It's all good, man. I mean, I didn't know I was going until 3 weeks ago? Spare the moment.
You thought you were going somewhere for a birthday party or something? You're
I'm
talking about?
still going. In fact, they're leaving Sunday when I'm driving home, and they're going in the opposite direction. So they're going 3.5 hours southeast from where we live, and I'm driving home to the east that day, and I'll meet them the next day.
Huh.
Yeah. It only happened because I was able to get some extra cash. If I didn't get this extra cash, I wouldn't have been able to go at all. And a lot of persuading.
How long of a ride is it for you?
Well, being that I'm going by myself this year, I'm not bringing my dad, I'm not bringing my kids. I'm gonna pack the car with food and drink. So I'm hoping to just drive straight through, and I'm hoping to make a record drive like maybe 12 hours because a GPS says it's 10.5 hours.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, think about a lot of things, like if I have to go to the bathroom a lot or whatnot.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping not to have to stop at any restaurants and just go pull off on the side of the freeway and take a piss real quick.
Just don't God.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So I'm hoping 12 hours, but worst case scenario, it's probably going to be like 13 hours.
Huh.
I know from here to Mass, it's 13 hours. And I think that's with minimal stopping. I think we actually got up there in 14 hours. The beginning of last year.
Yeah.
But I had my wife and my 2 kids, so we had to stop, get food. We had to stop, have them get out and walk for a little bit. And my wife smokes, but she won't smoke in the car, so she has to get out and smoke every few hours. So yeah, it took a lot longer than it probably should have to get up there.
Mm.
But we'll see because I'm going by myself, and I'm going to try to do a record run. I want my average speed to be 80 miles an hour. That's the average. That's what I want.
Sam, you gonna try to set a cannonball run record?
I don't have a supercar, so it won't be a cannonball record, but it'll be a minivan record. Hopefully, not even a minivan because I'm not taking the minivan. It'll be a Toyota Corolla record.
You could buy an old ambulance and try to do it in that, but the way how I did it and the way how the movie did it was a do not
Burt
finish.
Reynolds already did that. Yeah, I don't want to follow somebody else's footsteps. I want to create my own. Maybe I could do it in a tank. Radisson, you got a tank available? I won't have to worry about any traffic. I could just run over them.
He ain't here at the moment. He had step out real quick.
Oh, that's right. He did say he was leaving. Yeah,
You taking
maybe.
the crown vic?
No, I took Amtrak down to Alabama, and I'm with Radisson right now. Or I
Oh,
was, but he just left the
oh,
house. But
huh.
it's nice because you don't have to put miles on your car,
Yeah, true.
and you don't have to be a mile in the air.
This will be your first time, right? Going?
Yeah, this will be my first time going to the show, but I'm psyched.
Yeah, I bet.
Well, I tell you, man. Like I said earlier, it's a much smaller version of Amherst, like super small, considering it's just majorly in one room. But the quality and the people are what make this show great.
That's what I've heard, and I've heard that there are a lot of professional modelers there. So hopefully, I mean, obviously in Springfield, people can see you put the work in, and they can see there's nice models. But then there's also people who go, "Let me touch that." And luckily,
Right.
at this show, the people know not to touch that.
Yeah, I mean they're all modelers. It is open to the public, but there's not nearly as much public that comes to this show because it's a dedicated modelers meet that
Mhm.
there is at a regular train show like Amherst. But it's still pretty cool because yeah, there are great modelers there, but the 187 scale people are where it's at. I'll say that. Those
There's
are the
a
people
general
you want to
base.
hang out with.
There's a general baseline for work too. Like some stuff that I just for my stuff. If you in your stuff too, if you see a normal Athearn, say 32 Ford, and you compare it to one of your 32 Fords, obviously, people there they know what a Jordan normally looks like and see how much work you've done to it. But
Right.
at a normal train show, people aren't able to see that all the time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'll tell you what, dude, when I was at Amherst last year, you I didn't believe the amount of people that would stop at my table, at my corner table, and just have like their jaw dropped on the floor thinking, I never knew this was possible. And now I can see that it is. That's what I
Sam,
love. I love
Sam,
that.
I'm used to the hobby. I know, I'm proficient per se in HO scale models, and my jaw was dropped. I didn't think anybody could pull all that off. That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, now you know. But see, that's the thing about, I'll say literally, that's the thing about this RPM meet is 75% of the people there are senior citizen modelers, senior citizen model railroaders. What I build isn't their cup of tea at all. So it's that small group of people that really get it and understand, which are the only people I'm showing any of this stuff off for. Because the rest of these old folks, they're like period correct 1950s, train layout that, they got to have a stock car or something old and rusty along the side of a barn or something. They're not looking for hot rods and stuff. And that's fine. I don't need them to, but those small select few that do, it's all there for them.
And it's not just HO scale too, right? It's all different scales.
Yeah, yeah.
It is all different scales. Now I will say you bring a 125th scale model lowrider to that show, it probably wouldn't be looked at like a rail car in
Yeah.
that scale, like G scale or whatever.
Mhm.
It's mostly HO scale, but they do allow all other scales because it's about the model railroading hobby itself.
Now I can't say they were low riders, but I do recommend. I did see this at last show. Not that I was there, but I saw it online. That there was some people that did bring 125th scale trucks or 124th scale.
Yes,
I'm not sure which.
there's actually one guy. That one person brought all those vehicles in that scale because he models that G scale
Yeah,
uh,
that's what I.
size, and he puts like I've put that much detail in a lowrider, and he's putting that much detail in like a rail truck or a construction vehicle for the train company. And that, see, I could do that. That's not my cup of tea, So it's cool to see that people put that much detail in other things other than trains. I mean, I see that in the model car world all day, but to see it in the train world, in the car side of it, you don't see. And that guy did an amazing job. Like I was just showing a picture of it on that St. Louis meet I'll show you guys again. This is the guy, and he's like the only one that brings this stuff. Yeah, so I don't know which one is the guy who brought it, but one of those two are the guy who brought those trucks.
Huh.
And he does amazing work. But anyways, yeah, I'm hoping the show's good. It should be good, and I can't wait to see all you guys there, because it's been long overdue, too long overdue.
Definitely.
And for everybody watching, I mean, if you're not going to make it to the show, I'll have so much coverage, from still pictures to videos. I'll do my best to bring you guys everything I can. And if you guys want to even see something that I may not even be noticing to look for, just message me and say, hey, look out for this, and I'll do my best to like bring it all to you guys that are wanting to see stuff from the show that I may not even notice because
Yeah.
it's not in my wheelhouse.
That'll be good.
I made
I'm
a,
hoping.
not per se a bet, but I sort of made a bet with myself last year that if we didn't have Springfield, I at least wanted to go to St. Louis to take its place. So, sort of luckily, sort of not luckily, it's happening.
Yeah, I'm glad you're going, man. I really am. I'll tell you the funniest thing of all. It's not even funny. Maybe it's just my bad on my part. Radisson came up to me at the 2009 show or 2019 show. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know anything about him until I started putting his name and his face up to his post on Facebook. And he said he liked my stuff. And I just talked to him for like maybe 2 minutes and then talked to somebody else. And I felt so bad that whole time knowing he was right there and he's such a cool guy. Why didn't I talk to him longer? I'll make up to it, or I'll make up to him for this time. I'll talk to him all day. I mean, the funny thing too is if any of you guys saw that interview I did with him, I think he was before Ken Patterson, and he was the longest interview I had done. I think I had like 2.5 hours long, all about military vehicles. Who would have thunk I could chat with somebody that long about military vehicles? But I did, and he was super interesting. So that's what's neat too. Like, we're all modelers going to this show. None of us are just going as a spectator and not knowing anything about the hobby. We all are modelers, and that's what makes this show even better, because we all speak the same language. We all get it. Unlike the train show in Amherst, like half of those people or 3/4 of those people are attendees that just like trains, that aren't even in the hobby. And we're so far spread apart in different buildings that it's a good chance we may not even see each other, depending on if they're train club or model, 187 scale group club or whatever. And we'll just see each other in passing or whatever. Here, we're all crammed in this small building that it's almost impossible to get away from each other. So that's what's going to be really cool about this show.
I actually, a long time ago, not at the current moment, but in the previous years, I've been part of the Amherst Railway Society. I've been a paying member.
Oh, wow.
And so they have so obviously they throw the train show, but they have a modular layout that they bring there. But it's been so busy and there's been so much stuff to do that I've just said, I'm going to be with the 187 Scale Vehicle Club this show. I'll go to the other Amherst shows and be with the train club, but this one just for model trucks.
Yeah.
In-house.
I mean, because there is a lot to do at that Amherst show. I can't say I was surprised. I was, because coming from Southern California, LA has a huge train show, probably as big as Amherst, just not in different buildings. I think it's all in the same building or conjoining buildings. And not really being into the vehicles at that time when I lived out there, I didn't know that there was even, a side hobby to this. which apparently, talking to Bob Johnson, there has been since 2001. And I didn't know anything about that. So I'd go to these train shows just because I liked trains. I was that guy. I didn't have a train set, wasn't part of a club. I just liked them. So I went to these shows and yeah, it's so huge that if you were into multiple things, I don't think you could be really into multiple things all at the same place. You'd have to like pick and choose which part of it you wanted to be at this year or next year,
Right.
whatever.
Exactly. I mean,
So it's neat, and I can't wait for you to see it, Tom.
yeah. I mean, I came all the way down to Alabama just to get ready for the show. I'm not even in St. Louis yet, and I'm hyped.
Well, you'll be there. What day you guys going up? Wednesday?
I think
Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Jeez, that'll be awesome.
So,
I
what
mean,
day are
I
you
don't
going
need to
up there?
spend that much time there, but I mean, in my 2 years of going, I saw a bunch of stuff within those 2 years. You're going to see all that same stuff all in the same trip, so that'll be neat.
When are you heading up, Sam? What day?
Thursday,
Thursday. Oh, okay.
Thursday, yeah.
You're
I'm
getting there
going
right as
right
the
up
show
and
begins.
right
What
back.
is it?
What'd you
2
say,
days?
Bob? Yeah, it's 2 days. It's Friday and
What is it? 2
Saturday.
days? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Sunday, I mean, you can stay up there. We did that last year, and we went to the Archway, showed my kids the arch, and then we went to the Transportation Museum. And I think we did one other thing. I can't remember. But the year before, we just went to the Archway, didn't go inside, and then went to Mike's house, and then went to Ken's house. So I really don't need to do anything but the RPM meet and go to like maybe one or two people's house, and I'll be good to go.
Sam, for those of us, including me, who've never been west of the Mississippi, let alone in St. Louis, what would you recommend to do there?
Sleep the whole time. You're gonna be very tired. There's nothing out there. There's an archway that's made out of steel or something that just looks like an arch. It's nothing special. The Mississippi is getting smaller and smaller every year, so you don't need to worry about that either. No, I'd say definitely the Transportation Museum because it's got a big boy. And if you haven't seen
Wow.
the big boy in real life, that is the
I've heard
best
it's a big boy.
museum to check out. And it's also got a couple concept trains there. Like it's not a turbine train, but it's that train that was built on bus chassis.
Oh, the
So they
kind of
got
future
that train there.
Aero train.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they got a car museum there with one-off concept cars and stuff, which is pretty cool. So definitely that, 100% that. You could go to the archway, but you could probably just take pictures of it from the freeway or take pictures of it from, driving next to it. You don't actually have to go up it, but it's neat. You definitely want to go to Ken's house though, if you guys can. And it sounds like you guys are going Wednesday.
Yeah, we have a plan to go, and I definitely hope I can go because I've seen his layout on What's Neat and a few other things, and it looks like not only an amazing layout, but it looks to be where he takes photos is an amazing place as well.
Oh, his house, I'm telling you, it's not a mansion in any circumstance. He's probably got the smallest house on the whole entire street, but it's the land. The land he chose to do something with. And the house is a perfect size house. You wouldn't need a mansion for that land. But just everything about that house and that lot is like picture perfect. I mean, you see the Mississippi right in your backyard. You got an Amtrak and whatever St. Louis Railroad right underneath the bluff of his house.
Oh, really?
Probably every half hour there's a train going by. Probably. I don't know how busy that train track is, but
I didn't even know that. I do want to see if I can get some.
And it's funny. It's funny because I'm not a train guy, but anytime where anybody's at their house and they hear that horn blowing like it's getting closer, they all run to the bluff to see what kind of train it is and to videotape it. It honestly, I think it's ridiculous in my opinion, because that's only because I'm not a huge train guy like that. But I mean, I guess it'd be the same if there was a rat rod coming down and you can hear it from the corner light and you're like, oh, I got to see what kind of car that is. It'd be the same thing. So I can't blame any of them. It's just not my thing. But yeah,
Yeah, I
definitely
would-
go there. I would even say if you have a chance, Vic Smith's house. He's got that City's Edge or Edgewater. I think it's called City's Edge. Train layout that is probably one of the neatest, most detailed train layouts I've ever seen in my life.
Now, I hope nobody's listening that owns a layout because they're about to get some bad news. Because Vic Smith is my favorite layout above any layout that I've ever seen in my life. It's my absolute number one, and I'd love to go there, but I don't have connections.
Well, I'm a connection. I'll talk to him and see if he's having an open house, but for a select few. So
Oh,
I'll
really?
see if he wouldn't mind, because I
Sure,
plan on
make it.
going. Because I mean, at least for an hour. I don't have to stay long, but I want to take one of my ectos and put it on his layout and light it up.
Also, another thing about Vic Smith's layout is now he has the classic lifelike fire station kit. It's the only time I've ever seen him and Mike Buddy are the only two people who have ever seen who pulled off that kit to a degree where it does not look toyish. Him and Mike Buddy have it, so it's like perfect. And especially with on that row of buildings that on that like where sorry, I don't mean to stutter here, but on the very far right of Vic's layout, there's a row of there's a theater and there's the fire station. It blends in perfectly there.
It sounds like a challenge. Now I have to go build one of those kits.
You got to put your ecto in it. And do you have any other fire trucks, Sam?
I've got a Matchbox fire truck, that topless fire truck from like the 40s.
Oh, okay.
It's
Well,
the toy version. I built
I-
a custom version of it. I just
I-
repainted it and put new wheels on it.
I guess you're gonna have to build a custom firehouse too.
Right. Yeah. Well, I don't think I'm going to build it just because of that reason. I'll screw that up and everybody will hate me for that too. No, but I would love, honestly, I would love to build Vic the firehouse for Ghostbusters with the car, and for him to figure out some way to put that on his layout, like move a whole building and put that there, dead center for everyone to see. I doubt he will, but if he did, if he said okay, he would do it. I would build it for him in a heartbeat and just give it to him. I wouldn't even pay him or make him pay me. I just do it because the simple fact it'll be on his layout, one of the best and most beautiful layouts of all time. I
Oh,
mean, that'd just
100%
be
worth it.
like an honor. Yeah.
Plus, it would, considering the style of building he has on his layout, I think like 90% of it's probably brick. It would go great with the layout.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, his layout seems to be looking like it's an 80s style, an 80s
Yeah.
style time frame. And Ghostbusters was 1984, so it'll be 100% perfect.
I could not agree more.
Yeah, I'll talk to him. I'd hate to build all that stuff and not get any money for it, but it'd still be an honor for him to say yes for my work to be on his layout. I mean, hell, he can even detail it up even more if he wanted to. It's just the fact that it's my idea and it's on his layout. That'd be the best thing ever.
That would be sweet. He's probably going to put, since it's, the theme is kind of sketchy 1970s city, probably going to put window bars all over it. But so was New
Right.
York. So was New York back
I mean,
in the 70s, right?
The building doesn't have to be totally painted like the end result in the movie. It could be painted like they were just buying it, because it did look different. It had that rundown look.
Oh, okay. I guess that's the way to go.
But yeah, I'll talk to him. And then
Thank you, Sam.
I'll message him and see if you guys can come over too. Because I figured I'd
What day
go
would that
over there and me and Joseph could carpool if he wanted to. I don't know.
Just,
I don't know. It's
oh,
gonna
you
either
don't know
be
what day?
Friday or Saturday.
Gotcha.
Because I'm not gonna be there any other. Maybe hell, even maybe Thursday night. I don't know.
Yeah,
It
just
just
let me know if
depends
you have a
on what
general
time I
time.
get there on Thursday night, really. Because I'm assuming
What
it'll
time?
be nighttime, like around 6, 7, or 8.
Oh. How about to ask what time you think you could get there?
Hopefully, it won't be any later than that. But who knows?
What hotel you staying in? If you can answer that on the air with all these people listening, Sam. If you don't feel comfortable, it's good.
You're breaking up if you were saying something.
Oh, what hotel you guys staying in?
Oh, that's a good question, Joseph. What hotel are we staying at?
Right across the
You're on
street from the
mute.
one you guys are staying. Am I?
All right.
Oh, or you were?
Wonder if you guys were staying at the same place, by any chance.
Right across the street, I believe. You guys said Super 8, right?
We might
Or
be.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're staying right across the street.
gotcha.
In my say street, you can walk across it to the side street.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can guarantee you other people from the meet are staying all at those hotels that we're staying at. So we just got to figure out who's staying where, and we can easily meet up for dinner or something.
Sure.
Can you the show from the hotel? You guys
We could
to
walk to the hotel. We could walk to the show. Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah,
about
that's-
Yeah, it's nice. Not like
It's-
Amherst.
Oh, really?
From-
Yeah.
from online. It looks to be like 300 feet between the hotel and the actual convention center. It is not bad at all.
It's like a grassy field, isn't it? We walked
Well,
across
there's
last
two
year.
streets. Like there's two streets that have all the hotels on, and one street is in front of the other, obviously, and then there's the double tree that's like has a connecting parking lot to that convention center.
Yeah.
So all the other hotels, the more expensive, like the closer to $100 and $120 hotels are like on the street the hotel's on. And then all the cheaper hotels are behind those hotels on a conjoining street that you can just walk in between the hotels to get to the show from. It's not bad. Like you never, once you unload your stuff from the car for the show, you can park your car back at the hotel, and unless you go somewhere else to eat, or in the evening times when the show's over and you're going to somebody's house, you don't have to move your car for the show.
Huh.
It's nice. But other than that, I don't know what you guys think. What are you guys hoping for? Anything special? Anything that you're counting on, or just hoping that happens? No.
I'm hoping
Yeah.
to meet some of the more Western modelers per se. Those that don't come to the East Coast meet because the East Coast meet's a little too far. I know
Right.
there's quite a few of you.
Well, what's the guy from Soundtracks? Joe Bogatok. He's gonna be there. George Bogatot. He's gonna be there, and he's in Colorado now, working at that Colorado Railroad Museum. He'll be there with Soundtracks. I don't know if Sylvan's gonna be there. Sylvan would be cool, but I don't know a lot of the Western model railroaders.
I don't.
It's weird. I don't know why I don't know them, but
I don't either, but I know a few of the 87 skill model railroaders per se.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like I guess you could say Joseph. I haven't met you in person yet, have I?
No.
And you're Western by my standards. I was hoping Raymond Rodriguez is going to be there, but it seems he's a little busy. Well, I'm sure I'll meet a few others that escape me at the moment.
Yeah. They'll
Oh, yeah.
hopefully everybody we want to meet and see is going to be there. That's all I can hope for. I mean, it'd be cool to see Paul again and his wife because they're super cool people. And then, Dan
Almost.
Goins and Bob Johnson. It'd be cool to see them and talk to them.
Yeah, I believe
don't-
Matt is coming.
Oh yeah, Matt Gilly. Gilly? That's how you
Yeah.
say his last name? Yeah.
Gi-
Yeah, he was
Gidley?
there the last
Yeah.
two. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool if he goes. It'd be cool if the
Well-
Kellys go too, because I mean, I haven't seen anything from them in so long that I hope they're okay, and I hope that they're
Yeah,
coming.
they're going
Oh, right on.
from what I heard. I mean, him and Brad's going too, Hausler.
Oh, nice.
Oh, damn.
What,
That's
you know,
cool.
Kelly, the dad was there at the Dallas show or the Fort Worth show.
Yeah. That's cool. Well, I mean, they live down sort of that way, anyways.
Did you
Yeah.
Talent show? Joe,
We had one in Fort Worth.
how was that?
It was not too bad. It was first annual, so it was kind of a get your feet wet show for everybody around here.
Working
Had
the
a good
bugs out.
turnout. It wasn't. Now it wasn't that bad. But it was just not as big.
How
Yeah,
many people do you think?
Attendees or people who show.
Probably people that show. Who cares about those people attending?
Oh, it was probably like half the size of St. Louis.
Dang, that's not bad for a first annual. That's pretty good.
that was
The
what a
North
couple.
Carolina. Oh, I was going to say the North Carolina RPM meet Facebook group. I've joined their Facebook group and never gone to the RPM meet there, but they said that they're going to hold it this year, November. So I have commented on their post that I'll try and make the North Carolina one. But looking at their pictures, and this is nothing against North Carolina RPMers, I don't think I'm going to fit in there at all. Like at all. But
Hey,
I'll give it a shot.
Joseph, did you go to the meet in Texas?
Yes,
How was it?
it was pretty good.
A lot of 87th guys there, or
There was a decent amount. It was a lot of more trains and stuff. There was probably about 5, maybe.
all right, that sounds fair.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
was all
it's
commercial trucks and whatnot.
I mean, that's to be expected. It was the first annual, so hopefully more and more people show up and it gets bigger and bigger each year. Hopefully.
Was
That's the
John
hope,
Ross?
yeah. Who?
Did John Roscoe?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't know who that is.
He's from right down there. He's from I forget the name of where he is. He said he's way up in the corner towards like New Mexico, maybe I think or something.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't run into him anyway.
He's friends with Bob Johnson and Dan Goins.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know him if you met him.
Oh, okay.
Good guy.
That's the crazy thing about the first year I went to the RPM meet, 2018. There were some people there that knew me that I didn't know. They just come up to me, walk up to me like we're friends, and say, "Oh man, I love your work. It was so nice. It's nice to see you. I love everything you do, and we've been talking forever." And I'm like, "Hey, who are you? You didn't even introduce me to your name. Like, your Facebook photos aren't always the exact person that you are when you meet somebody. So
sounds
who
like
are
something
you?"
I'd do. Was one of those people me,
No
Sam?
kidding. I think Radisson did that. I think he probably said, "Hey, dude, I love your work. My name's Rad. I've been watching you forever." And I didn't know him at the time, so it was like, "Who are you? What are you?" I don't know. But the same thing at the Amherst show, there was a lot of people. I can't say a lot. There was 2 people in particular that said, "Hey, you're the guy from that What's Neat show on YouTube." And I was like, "Yeah, I've been on that show. That's me." They said, "I recognize you from all your tattoos and your hat." I'm like, "That's me." He goes, "I love your work." And then I had a lot of people say, "Oh, I've been watching you on Facebook for a long time, looking at all your stuff. I love your stuff," but never said who they were. So it's like, great, thanks. Appreciate the fandom. But who are you?
That's your trademark, Sam. The tattoos and the hat.
Oh, this is definitely coming. And these are coming with me too. So
There you go.
yeah, I was talking to Kim Patterson the other night, and I was like, I was looking at my video that you did with me when you first met me, and I said, I look like a bouncer at a club. I don't think I should keep this look like of a bouncer look. I should probably change it up and just look like a cool modeler instead of somebody that's throwing people out of the show. But it's all good. Like you said, it is my look. I've had this look forever and I'm not getting rid of it. So yeah. Anyways,
You're not going to
well, I'll
film a
tell
peer
you what.
pressure, Sam?
No, no, trust me. The people that are at the RPM meet, I'm good. I'll keep my look. I mean, so it's funny. You can go to, like, mostly on the West Coast. You go to a model car show at the West Coast, and there is 10 to 20% all bunch of nerdy white guys that build NASCARs and stock vehicles and whatever. And then there's the guys that build all the lowriders and the custom cars. Every one of those people have a look to them that says I'm not white and nerdy. And then that 20% that does look white and nerdy. And I am not that guy. We got Steve DeSoto. DeSoto? I say DeSoto. That's not his last name. Steve.
DeSoto. It's Steve. There he is. Hi, Steve.
His audio's connected, so he may not hear us yet.
Connecting to audio.
There he is. Hey, Steve.
How you doing, bud?
Hey, thanks for joining, man. I know it was a little early for you on the West Coast and all.
A little early.
Well,
Hell,
what? We started this at 5 o'clock your time?
Yeah, I guess it's like 6:30 over here, something like that.
Yeah.
Hell,
So
I
it's
don't know.
much earlier there than it
Quarter to
is
seven
here.
over here. Quarter to seven over here, bud. I'm
Hey, man.
sitting. I'm sitting
You
here.
should go to the
surviving
RPM meet
life.
with us.
I was thinking about it.
Take that trip. You can do it.
I'd have to fly, I guess.
No, just drive. Don't fly. Waste more money and gas and mileage on your car and hotel rooms and just drive.
Just drive. Oh yeah. It's got like 1,200 miles, I think, something like that.
One way, too. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
Your wife can't be mad at you for spending it all on models if you don't come back.
We're not going to go there.
Yeah, talking to the
What is it? Next
one
week?
of two single people in the chat.
What are you, next week? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the closest airport is St. Louis, from what I understand.
Yeah, I think from that airport to the show, only like 20 minutes away. Maybe. I could be wrong. I drive, so I don't know.
Yeah, it
I'm
looks
not-
like 25 miles or so, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know what
one-
airlines are fetching for prices, but the train to St. Louis and back, or at least to Birmingham and back, which is the same distance, at least from where I live in Mass, is like $400. So it's not a bad deal. It's a little under 3 something.
Oh, that's not bad at all. But whatchamacallit, I don't think there's any trains in the desert, are there?
Williams, Arizona has that steam engine that takes you to the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, that's a far cry from St. Louis.
Right.
Oh, dear Lord in heaven. Yeah, I'm sitting here waiting out flash floods in the
Oh,
desert.
really? Is it stormy out there right now?
Yeah, this is the monsoon time of the year over here, so we get all the
Funny,
rain
the
now.
East Coast gets hurricanes. The West Coast desert get monsoons.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, ain't it?
That is weird.
We've been getting the monsoons too. It seems like it rains every day here now.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
geez.
Thunder and lightning and everything else.
Yeah.
Very, very fresh.
God
Grass
only
is,
knows.
grass is growing like crazy.
The plastic grass doesn't grow out here.
Yeah, there you
No.
go. That's the best stuff.
Never have to mow it.
You don't have to do anything to it.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. That's for damn sure. Well, I don't know. It's next weekend, right?
Yeah, Friday and Saturday.
Friday and Saturday, huh? I'll have to take another look at this. What motel are you guys staying at?
The cheap ones.
Yeah, that's fine. That might,
help on cost.
yeah. Which one is that?
There's a Motel 8 that's I think under $100 a night, and yeah, there's other ones.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll have to take another look at it and see. I finally got back to Rhode Island after all this crap with this COVID crap, you know what I'm saying?
When were you there?
June 23rd. Who's this, Bobby?
Yeah,
Hey, how are you?
good. How are you?
All right, all right. I was going to try and get to see everybody, but I was unable to.
Yeah, did you get the AA?
Yeah, I got there. Unfortunately, John was in the hospital again. Well, he's going into rehab. They cut off his foot.
Oh,
Yikes.
really?
Yeah. He's he never was one to listen to the damn doctor. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
With all the problems he had, plus he has diabetes on top of it, and it's and now they ended up cutting off a foot.
Oh, gee. Wow.
Yeah, the chief was there. I talked to the chief for a little while.
Yeah.
Well, if they keep cutting off more stuff, he can be renamed Bob.
Oh, dear Lord in heaven, I'll tell you. Well, they cut off his
He's
foot
just been
now. So
bobbing in the water.
yeah, well, he was 40. Now he's 39. What are you going to do? Life goes on. I mean, I've known the guy for years and years and years and years. He just doesn't listen to anybody. He's stubborn as a bastard. It's amazing that
Hey
this
man,
fuck.
you only live once. Might as
Yeah,
well
well-
live the way you want to.
Yeah,
He's a
well,
nice guy, though.
he's apparently proven that theory.
Sure, huh? Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I might try. I'll take another look at it and see what's going to happen. But,
Well, don't stress over it. There's always next year.
Yeah, well, that and then I want to go to. I'd like to go back up to Amherst this coming January.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, as long as the weather ain't too bad. So they don't have another pandemic or some damn thing.
Right.
Well, I moved and not that it's any bigger deal, but for you guys who live on the West Coast, it's a huge ordeal coming to Springfield, quite a mile. But luckily for me, I just moved from 100 miles away to less than 50. So that solves it for me.
Well, I used to have,
Right.
Talk about making it easy.
I used to have that luxury, huh, Bob?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
I don't have that luxury anymore.
Nope.
Uh,
Fortunately.
Yeah, it's an all day plane trip, and I guess I would probably fly into Hartford this time instead of Providence, but it is what it is. What are you gonna do? Things change.
Let me know.
That-
I'll pick you up. Let me know. I'll come pick you up in Hartford.
Oh, all right. All right.
Well, I was
I'm
going
going-
to say that's the thing about North Carolina. Like, I'm literally in the halfway point of Springfield or St. Louis. I'm like right in the middle. They're just about the same distance.
Yeah.
But anywhere else I want to go is too far away.
Yeah. That's like I guess you must be what 800-900 miles away from St. Louis then.
It takes 13 hours.
Yeah, you're gonna be somewhere in that vicinity.
Yeah. I know it's about 2.5 tanks of gas.
Oh, hang on a second. The wife's out getting her hair cut and dyed and all that other crap. I think she's done. Hello. Look, answer the phone first. Hello. I can come and get you. All right, sweetheart. I'll see you in a few minutes. Oh, wait a minute. Jeffrey's going to come pick you up. Yep. All right. Love you. All right. Bye.
I'll tell you, it's funny listening to you, Steve, and Bob talking together. That whole East Coast accent, like you've been there your whole life, and that's the only accent you know.
Well, that's pretty much about it. I get in trouble down here a lot of times, so I went to the store the other day and it was young lady at the counter. Who else was gonna play? Well, I don't know, middle age anyway. So I always make it a habit of trying to be nice or whatever, like young lady or whatever. I called her. I said to the lady, "Oh, thank you, ma'am." Don't call me, ma'am. I'm like, what the Christ?
Right.
Oh, dear
You better
Lord.
watch yourself.
Yeah, you gotta watch out. That's Karens, I guess you call them.
Gotta be careful what you say to them now.
Oh, Lord in heaven. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
There's a lot of Karens out there.
Oh, Lord in heaven. And if their actual name is Karen, it's even worse.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Sure.
Oh, Lord.
It's funny because there's a movie called The Heat with Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy, and they're
Yeah.
cops in New Jersey.
Yeah,
New
yeah.
Jersey, no, Boston. I think in Boston, in the Boston area. And the accents that Melissa McCarthy puts on in her whole family, because they're based out there in Boston, is so thick and so strong. I love watching that movie just for those accents of her family, because it's so like obnoxious and pompous and I'm right, you're wrong. Nothing you could tell me would prove that I'm wrong, no matter how wrong I am.
Yeah.
And not that you guys have that accent, because that's a lot more thicker. You just have that northeastern accent that it sounds like not from that area. Me from the West Coast, it sounds movie like. Listen to this talk.
Oh, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. Yeah,
Talk
so
God.
dear God in heaven.
I got to
So
ask you something.
who else is gonna be down there next week?
Well, I mean, there's Tom and Radisson, me and Joseph, the Kellys, Robert Kelly and the father.
The Crane boys.
Yeah, and Bob Johnson, Dan Goins.
Oh, Bob's gonna be there too.
Well, they come together.
Yeah.
They I think they carpool.
Yeah. Well, all this time I never thought they were married, but I guess they are.
Do they come at the same time?
They travel everywhere together. Those two. That's
Yeah.
that's a combination.
And then Matt Gilly is coming, and I believe
Brad Hess.
yeah, yeah, he's coming.
Now, who's the gentleman that does all the military stuff? Young kid. There. What's his
Radisson.
name?
Radisson.
That him?
Yeah. Yeah, Radisson and Tom are going up together.
Oh, all right. Where are they from? Do you know?
Radisson's from Alabama, and I'm from Massachusetts, and currently I'm in Alabama, so we're carpooling up.
Oh, all right. Must be a hell of a round trip, Massachusetts and Alabama.
Oh yeah, I took Amtrak from Boston down to New York, got a layover in New York, and then headed down to Alabama.
Oh, cool. There's a train that goes from, I believe it's in New York, all the way out to California. It's Cruise America or something. Train
An
America.
excursion train.
Yeah, but believe it or not, if I'm not mistaken, the last time I checked, which was about a year ago, it was just about $300 to go from New York all the way
That
to
was
West
pandemic
Coast.
times.
You can get a
it's a regular Amtrak thing. It's been around for quite a while.
yeah. So I was actually on Amtrak, and I was talking to a lady who had that, and it's a $300 unlimited pass for I think about a week. So this random lady said she was taking the train all the way from DC down to New Orleans up to Chicago, I think, and then Chicago to the West Coast. I mean, you can get pretty far.
Yeah.
For $300.
And it's they got like deals, like you sleep on the thing, you eat on the thing, the whole 9 yards.
Oh wow!
I was surprised. I didn't think they still did all that stuff, but I guess they do.
How much is catching the Union Pacific Big Boy excursion? How much is that? Let's find how much that price is.
More than it's in my wallet.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's just to get the damn thing started.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to take another look at that, Sam, and see how I might be able to do it. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I mean, I'm hoping, I think a lot like everybody is hoping that this is going to be the first big, big show to go to, because everything's been canceled or shut down up until this show.
Yeah. There's been a few little get-togethers around here or whatever, but it's not really big around here anymore, I guess. And a lot of the hobby shops are just gone.
Right.
Just about everything now is you got to do it online. Most of the places I've been to, since I've been down here, I've been traveling back and forth. I make different trips, and when I get to the destination, oh, see ya, out of business.
Wow.
And they just, some of them go online, and that's the end of that. I got one hobby shop that's close to me, but it's all like he's mostly military and 124th, 125th, and he's about 25 miles from here, which ain't a bad trip. Then you got hobby
Not really.
you got hobby bench, and you got hobby lobby.
Right.
Michael sells model car kits, which I didn't know until I went looking. And then I got there's one in Tempe, but that's an hour and a half from here. And then there's another one down in Tucson that I haven't been to yet. It's an Ace Hardware store, but there's the hobby shop inside the Ace Hardware store.
Oh man, I haven't seen one of those in forever.
Yeah,
Man.
I haven't been able to get to it. It's down in
They're
Tucson.
rare.
That's like 2.5 hours from here.
Wow.
It's an Ace Hardware store, but there's the hobby shop inside the Ace Hardware store. They tell me it's pretty decent and whatnot. I just haven't had a chance to get down there yet.
There was a convenience store like the size of like a grocery store called Long's Drugs, and it was a small franchise through the Southern California area, and only one of those stores was owned by a hobbyist guy who liked model trains. So he literally took the grocery store and cut it in half, and half of it was all model train stuff. Half was a regular like drugstore, like big chain drugstore. And it was the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah, this pandemic thing has really killed everybody. It's nuts. Like there's been a couple of hobby shops that I've found online that like in Nevada or Colorado or in California too. There was a couple, and I finally got smart, and I tried to check them out real thoroughly before I went, and
Right.
they're just not there no more. They're gone, so.
Yeah.
That,
It's sad.
well, there ain't much you can do about it. It is what it is. That's another subject, but they destroyed this freaking country.
Right. Well, I mean, the pandemic definitely helped that, but just in general, I've said it on numerous episodes that the hobby world in general is slowly dying out anyway. So the hobby stores are going to do the same thing.
Yeah, well, it kind of like goes ups and downs and whatnot. It's I can remember in past years too. Where it would go up and go down, and the interest would change from like the small scales to the big scales, and then back down to the small scales, and then over to the radio control.
Obviously,
how long,
obviously
Right.
there was a main era of when model building was popular, and which is came in the past 50 years, and it's slowly dying out. But personally myself, I don't see that being the end of the hobby. I mean, we've seen in the past year that I've been in a few years, but I'm young, and then we've recently had two more young modelers who are, I think, about my age, Jacob Stevens and what's the fellow with the Jeep? Not the Jeep, but the Nissan. I forget his name. London Drysdale. And
Oh,
both,
yeah.
they're all my age. So it's nice to see some younger people joining in the hobby. And I hope this will continue as it goes on.
One thing.
I hope so
One
too.
thing since I've been down here, though, I did notice while they were starting to open up again, that big Chevrolet car show. What do they call that? I forget now. Oh, the big car show from that big escapes my
Super
mind.
Chevy?
What's that?
Super Chevy car show?
I don't know if it was Super Chevy or not.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It's right on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of it. But at any rate, I ended up joining a club down here. That is, they're all scales, really. I show up, I look like Tinker Toys, but they do, big scales. But at any rate, it's called the Moonlighters Model Club, only because there was nothing else around. So I joined them just, to get in on things and see what's going on. And Super Chevy, that's what it is. Super Chevy show. The super, you know what I'm talking about now? The big shows.
Yes.
Okay, anyways. And it turns out this club sponsors, has a booth there. Okay. And all they do is we show up with our models, and we put them on display, and they have like, people's choice type thing. They vote for it and all that crap and all that stuff. So just to show off what they do. But they also have a portion of it, which up until this year, it was called Make and Take, it was called. And
Right.
Round Two and a whole bunch of these different companies and hobby shop would donate model car kits. Okay. And they would have the young kids come along and sit down and right there, and the people would help them build the model that day so they could take it home with them. And they would, give them awards and all this other stuff. And they would give them the model and all this stuff for free of charge. Okay. Well, this year they called it Take and Make because the pandemic and whatnot. So what they did was they gave out the models. And all they had to agree to do, which is no big deal, is make the model with their dad or whatever, and then send in a picture of what they did. So there is a lot of that stuff going on, and this model building thing, it wasn't like just very young kids, and it wasn't teenagers. It was any kid up to the age of 18 that could be involved in this thing. So there's a lot of stuff going on. Sometimes you got to go looking for it, and you just don't realize it's out there. Like I never knew of that. And like I said, I'm a trader anyways because I'm sorry, Bob, but I'm doing 124th and 125th.
Speaking of,
It's easier to see.
Yeah, it's a hell of a lot easier.
speaking of that, Steve,
Yep.
do you know the Marlboro train show?
Up in Massachusetts.
Yeah, I'm sure Bob knows it too.
Yeah, I've been there once or twice.
They have a build a rail car thing where they let kids in for they give a kid a rail car when they enter to kind of get them introduced into model railroading. I'd always take advantage of it, and I would always take advantage of that and maybe say I was a little younger than I actually was, so I could get that free rail car.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a good thing because a lot of these kids, the way things are nowadays, a lot of these kids have no idea what the hell a model car is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, almost at every model car show you can go to in the country, almost, not all of them, but almost all the dedicated model car shows, not just model shows, but model car shows, they have a take and make or make and take. They're all snap kits, so they're all made just to snap together, so you don't have to glue nothing.
Yeah, that's what the like model AMT and all them World 2, whatever it is. That's round 2, I think it is.
Right.
They own just about everything anyhow. But that's what they send. They send snap kits and like I think these are like level 1, level 2, level 3. They're all pretty basic, simple kits that can be done, without a lot of loaning. But it is good to see the kids come along because otherwise, And out here, the other thing that's different out here is back home when it got cold, everybody stayed inside. Over here, it gets cold, they go outside.
Right.
I mean, I've
They
got
like
I bought this house 3 years ago. I got neighbors that live within 2 houses of me. I don't even know what the hell they are. They keep the door looking for a bottle of sugar or something. I wouldn't be there. I said, "Who the hell are you?"
Well, I mean, just
a lot different out,
the
I
beginning
tell
of
you.
this year, not even in the beginning of the year, the beginning of the summer, I mean, we've had record heat going on the West Coast that the West Coast never seen before. Yeah, you would want to stay inside.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. That, we've been lucky so far this year. It's only been 115, 116, 18, maybe 10 days, 11 days so far. Last year we had 53 days.
Golly,
Last
that's
year they
crazy.
had 53 days of it. It was hot, boy, I'll tell you.
Does your house have indoor air conditioning?
Oh, absolutely. Positive.
Because I know a lot of houses, say built from 1980 and before, don't
Yeah.
have air conditioning
Yeah, well,
unless you had something installed later.
yeah, well, mine's got it, buddy. Let me tell you. I can feel it now.
Right.
nothing like central air, right?
No, nothing but I even put my house. Well, my grandkids have 2 of the bedrooms. I got a bedroom. My kids got a bedroom. So I ended up in the garage. I gotta shoot that dog. Anyways, I ended up with my man cave being in the garage. And I even put one of those split systems in the garage. Oh, you
Nice.
found it? Yes.
Yeah, you found me.
Okay. I'm still married, guys. She found her way home.
Well, for now. For now, you're married.
Yeah, so I ended up putting a split system in the garage, insulating the door, insulating the roof, the walls in the garage. So that's the way it is.
Yeah, I used to have a garage in California, my modeling room. I did all my modeling there. The weather never affected it. And I move out here, figure I'll do the same thing. Nope, that's not helping. The humidity and the heat, and then the brutal winters of like 0 degrees. No, I can't do nothing in my garage.
The only thing I've had happen is I had a couple of bodies here and there that, from the heat, the extreme heat. If I'm in there 3 or 4 days or something, the heat got to it.
Right. Yeah, I don't do that.
Oh yeah, real
Definitely do that.
real quick. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that, guys, and see. Maybe it's still possible. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Well, if it is, man, we hope to see you. If not, hey, there's always next year.
Well, I know you're online, so I'll give you a little message online and go from there and see what happens. But
Cool.
so it's Friday and Saturday, huh?
Yeah, Friday and Saturday night. Well, Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
Nothing
I was
happens on Sunday.
I was hoping to go, but it's not in the books this year, so
Yeah.
I'm going.
I
Gotta
thought
go
earlier
to a big truck show up in New Hampshire.
What's that?
I'm gonna go to a big truck show up in New Hampshire.
Oh, that.
Gear Jammer.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Going
Up that way.
to that one.
Yeah. How's your kid doing, by the way?
Good. He's doing real good.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad to hear it. That's good. How about everybody else? All your family's doing good?
Yeah, everybody's doing well.
That's good.
So
Hey,
far, so
Bob,
Yeah.
if you don't mind me asking, when is that Gear Jammer show?
yeah, I'm going to that. Yeah,
When is it though? Do you know the date?
Saturday and Friday and Saturday.
Oh, this Friday and Saturday?
Next Friday, Saturday,
I'll be in St. Louis.
and then Sunday is the antique equipment show, the one they have in up in New Hampshire too.
Is that Powell, Sand and Gravel?
It's a Concord Sand and Gravel.
Concord. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Rock Busters.
Take some pictures. I wish I
Yeah,
could go there,
well,
but
Yeah, this Gear Jamming show is going to be huge. He's already got like almost 1,000 trucks already registered, I guess.
Wow.
They
Holy
can have
cow,
truck,
that's like
they can have
ATHS
truck
levels.
all kinds of stuff.
Huh.
So
Wow, that's cool.
hopefully I'll upload my camera. I still got all the ones from last year. I went last year too. It was good. He was the only truck show. It was on the only truck show they ever had last year. He was able to put it off up in New Hampshire because they weren't, really enforcing COVID that bad.
Well, we had over in Virginia, about 3 hours from my house next to the beach, there was a model car show, I think in August or October of last year. And they said the building requirements, stay this far apart, and we can only let this amount of people in at one
Yep.
time, which I think 50 people total at one time.
Yep.
But it was a model car show in the heat of the pandemic. And I thought, that is wild that they're even doing this. I still went, but it just amazed me that they did it in general because everything else was canceling. People weren't allowed to go nowhere. And they pulled that off in the middle of the pandemic. And I thought, that's ballsy.
Yep.
And we'll see if I catch it or not.
That's what this truck show. He said the show must go on. He goes, I'm not canceling it. You're supposed to have it in New Hampshire, in Massachusetts, up in Brimfield, and Massachusetts wouldn't let him have it. So he went over to New Hampshire to this. It's a circle track, Monadnock Speedway, and they were allowed. They told me he could have it.
Well, I haven't been there in years, man.
It was probably 1,000 people there or more.
Wow.
Like packed.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. That'll be a
That's
good time.
neat.
Something to
It's
do at
neat
least.
I was gonna say it's neat when you can do things like that in the middle of a pandemic, but do it in a way where it's still safe, still got rules that you got to follow to keep it as safe as possible, and hopefully nobody came out with COVID from that show.
Nope, I never heard a word of anybody been getting sick from the show.
See, that's perfect. That's the
Yeah.
way to do a show.
He did do that. I mean, he was, doing the social distancing and, had the hand cleaners, all the wash stations and everything. So,
Well, a lot of it's got to do with you get, even that show I was talking about that I went to with making it taking this stuff. They literally had people with purple shirts walking around, and they literally said COVID staff, and they were people. If you were walking around and you didn't have your face, it was face mask only indoors at the time. On the outside part, you didn't have to, but they were walking around. But even at that, when you went to the restrooms, there were literally people standing at the door of the restroom, and they would count the number of people going into each restroom. And if there was too many in there, you had to wait outside until somebody came out to let somebody in.
yeah.
And, but outside of it was all right. When you went to a vendor, well, you had to put your mask on, even if you were outside, because of the 6 feet and all that stuff. But they literally had the COVID police, I call them, walking
Right.
around. And if they saw you, they would tell you to put your mask on. You gave them any shit, they would call the security people, and they come over and see ya, goodbye.
Right. Yeah.
And that super show I went to, it was like, they told me, I'd never been to one, but they told me it was like less than a third of what they usually have, and the place was packed. I mean, there were literally thousands of people.
Yeah, I think the Super Chevy show is one of the biggest car shows in the country.
Yeah.
Not as big as the Hershey, Pennsylvania Hot Rod Show or whatever it is. Not as big as that.
Wow.
That's the biggest one in the country.
Carlisle or the one in or the Good Guys?
I think it's the Good Guys where there's like 10,000 cars.
Show I went to, the Good Guys car show. That's the name of the show I went to.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And
I went to that one in New York, and it was real good.
oh yeah, and this was on the grounds right where they do
Yeah.
what's that car auction there? That Jackson car auction. What's that?
Yeah.
Barrett Jackson.
Barrett Jackson, yeah.
They have to use their buildings. I mean, the buildings
Wow.
were huge, unbelievable, and it was just
Huh.
quite a show. And they had the outside. They had the road rally, the cars going around and everything
Right.
else.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
quite interesting. They had a little bit of everything.
We just had a good guy show here 2 months ago that I went to. It was right when all the vaccines were starting to get pumped out, so they didn't need you to wear a mask on the outside, but in the indoor venue, they wanted you to wear a mask.
Yeah.
And there wasn't nearly as many cars as there would have been if there was no pandemic, but it was
Yeah.
still a decent turnout for probably the first biggest car show of the year to hit the state.
They have that at the
That's pretty
racetrack, right?
No, they used to, and then they
Oh,
moved it to the capital city, which is only 45 minutes from where I live.
Okay, all right.
Charlotte Motor Speedway is like 3 hours from where I live, so it's
Yeah.
a lot better
Oh
distance
no,
now.
didn't they have it in one of the what was it, North Carolina? I think they had it at the Speedway, one of the boats.
The Charlotte Motor Speedway is in North Carolina.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
where they used to have
Right.
it, but they
Okay.
don't have it there no more. I don't know
Huh.
why they don't have it there, but they just don't.
Yeah, I remember
I
you
think
see.
probably because they don't have any indoor buildings at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. At the state fairgrounds, which is where they have it, they have indoor buildings. So you can have like full-on show cars that don't want to see the light of the sun forever.
Outside, yeah.
Right there.
Cool. Well, I gotta make a break for it, guys. Good talking to you. And
Hey, thanks for coming in, Steve.
hey,
appreciate it.
Thanks for letting me in, and I'll get back to you, Sammy, and let you know what's happening.
No problem, man. Like I said, if you can't make it, don't even stress. There's always next year.
Oh yeah.
If you can't make that, there's Massachusetts,
Yeah. Well.
which is even further away.
Yeah. As long as I hold out.
Right.
Good to see you, Steve.
All right. Take care,
Good to
Bob.
see you.
See you later, guys. Take care, everyone.
Have a nice day.
All right. Take care.
I'll tell you what, guys. Everybody that's left, well, except for I think everybody that's left. I think Joseph disappeared.
I think you left.
Yeah, I think everybody that's left is on the same time zone as I am. It's 10:30 out here, pretty much.
Yep.
I say this was a good little episode, good little live stream. Talked about the hell, we talked about both shows, Amherst and St. Louis. So that's a 2-for-1, really, because this was mostly just supposed to be about St. Louis. So this was a good chat. I appreciate you all coming in and talking with me. I feel very blessed and appreciate all of it, because in the beginning, for the first 7 minutes, I was talking to anybody watching all by myself, and I thought, well, if nobody shows, this will be a very short episode.
I tried getting, like I said, and they wouldn't let me in for a little while. I don't know why, but it was weird.
It's all good, man. You showed up eventually, so
yeah,
it's cool.
Always good talking to you, buddy.
Yeah, man. And if we don't talk until Massachusetts, hell, I'll see you then. I'll talk to you then.
It'll be before that.
Yeah, I should be. Hell, even if I post something online and you comment on it, that's still a form of chatting. So, or vice versa.
Yep.
Yeah, and take some pictures of that truck show, and
I will.
I'd love to see that stuff if you post it online or whatnot.
Cool stuff there, let me tell you.
Yeah, that's cool. But I guess for everybody watching, it says there's 2 people watching at the moment. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for joining. Thanks for putting your comments in the chat. And I guess we'll see you at the RPM meet.
All right, you guys have a good time.
We'll see you guys later.
Yep,
Thanks for popping in and saying hi.
Okay.
Later.
Have a nice night. See you at the RPM.
Yep. See you later.